Thank you so much, and please help me welcome the great, the one and only Lauren.
Happy anniversary, everybody. I really couldn't do it without you. And I am thankful to Kay. Kay couldn't make it tonight, but for hosting for me last night, and for all of you guys that checked on me, because it was one time that I didn't show up in 4 years that it was unexpected. I just couldn't get here. And I laid on my sofa and watched you guys online. I needed the day. So I appreciate guys, appreciate everybody. So let's get to our feature artist of the night, who is a poet and visual artist based here in Orlando. And he'll get into a little more about this, but his poetry reading is about facing his shadow, diving deeper into aspects of himself that have been suppressed, disowned, denied, and that he's hidden and run from for many years. And he's somebody that I appreciate. He's been coming since our first year, Andrew Guillory.
Wow, the tension in my chest is outstanding right now. I have no problem coming up here and doing this, but for some reason my body speaking its own language, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing right now? So, yes, thank you, Lauren. Like she said, this name of this little segment is called Facing Shadow. It's going to be the name of my book, which is going to be on Amazon. If I can stop procrastinating and get on my own way and allow it to happen, it's not going to write itself. So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Great, you're great.
Well, I'm not that guy who's going to be like, I can't hear you. It's like you're not circus animals. Like you're doing good. Cool. That's all I needed.
I am a circus animal.
Okay. This man's an animal, everyone. That's my comedy act. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I figured I'd open up with a little humor since we're going to do a deep dive here. It's probably going to get a little dark. So if you're uncomfortable with that, too bad. There's nothing I can do about it. First one, it's called Share Pain, which is what I'm about to do. And this is one of the first pieces I've ever written, so I figured I'd kind of, for the most part, go in chronological order. Dare share pain. Are you crazy? Shit, that's insane. Better refrain from opening the door to just anyone, like some public whore seeking connection as a recipe for infection, or worse, an injection of rejection. Better refrain. Picture the heart drowning in its own blood, pumping in vain. Do you feel it too? Please do. Not that I want you to hurt, but at least now we know we're not as alone as we thought we were. Yeah, that's a short one. Wow, the font is incredibly small on this one for some reason. So I'm just going to hold it. This one's called The Pull Inside. It's got a lot to do with that tension in my chest I was talking about. The pull inside just cannot be denied. Absolutely impossible to hide. Believe me, I've tried. What does it want? Just go away. This again? Shit. Honestly, what else can I say? I don't want to be burdened. I don't want to bother with a pull that requires so much nurture, a pattern birthed from the Father. Scared to face the weak me that feels so deeply, avoidance of a voice from the void. So turn around, abandon it, ignore this pull, push it away, just to catch a breath that's cut off and strangled anyway. This is not the way. I distance myself, I travel afar, but wherever you go, there you are. Man will do anything to avoid facing his own soul. So what do I do? Where do I go? What's the next move? What do I choose? The only way out is through. A tug of war inside. The resistance is killing me. When will there be peace? When I finally let go, turn inward, leap off the cliff, surrender, and release. You guys don't have to clap after every single one. I appreciate it. But,
We're probably going to.
you can do the snaps, but maybe just save the applause for the end.
Oh, exactly.
We're going straight there now. All right. I forgot the order that I put this in. This is called Confession. God damn it. I have a confession to make. Forgive me, my friends, for I have sinned. It has been dividends of missing the mark and making mistakes time and time again. A guilty secret inside, to the degree the heat, it's burning me alive. Throw holy water on it. I'm putting it out there for the world to see, exercising the most vulnerable side of me. Execution style, laying my neck on the line. Head hanging in a noose, ego death by suicide. The channel is clear and open, flowing without smother. So here it is, the big reveal. I killed my own mother. Early memory, it's one of many. I jumped into her lap, sick with cancerous infection, with the motive to play and deliver my affection, but was immediately yanked away. It's Father's Day. Yelled at and punished, how could you? She suffers. Oh no, my own love killed my own mother. I didn't mean to. I swear it wasn't my intention. I must protect those around me from all future intervention with a crafty new invention. It's a wall that blocks so this love can rot and burn in hell for all eternity. Take this void and turn it into me. With a face now hidden, erased out of sight. The sun has stopped shining. Day has turned into night. Survival is now a priority while I sit here alone in this box and experience minority. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for being me. I'm sorry for needing from a source no longer breathing. I'll ignore my wants. I'll ignore my needs. I'll cut off all growth so no plants or flowers can come from this seed, only weeds. Witnessing other children being hugged and kissed, picked up and dropped off as they ring the bell. Every Mother's Day for me is another Groundhog Day from hell. Is that funny? That was weird timing. I don't know what to think of that. The hole inside is always so dark without you in it. I would do, say, give anything to see you again for just 5 minutes. This again. What is it with this guy obsessed with his mommy, living in the past? Who else needs a good laugh? Here comes mama's boy, time to get ridiculed. So I'll belittle myself and hurt you long before you have the chance to. I told you I'm sorry. Why won't you come back? Fuck you for leaving me. I hate you! Wait, I didn't mean that. How do you not hate yourself when you seem to hurt those closest? From what I can see, the vicious cycle is a self-fulfilling prophecy, the result of being your own worst enemy. The mind doubts, but the heart knows. I have the strength to pull myself up and out of these existential holes. I will break the cycle, stop these repeating loop tracks. Yes, it will take some time to unwind these wired circuits on playback. As impossible of a task it may seem, now is the time to remove this glitch and focus forward, readjusting the lens toward infinity, in order to tell a story in which I become friends with me and everyone else again, finally. Who just walked in? Was that Ben?
No.
Or when he comes in, I'm going to call him out and embarrass him, put him on the spot. This next one's called Empath. Literally can't breathe. I used to hear about empaths and wonder what that's like, since mine has been a dim path, muted and numb. Oh, makes sense. It turns out because I am one. Had to protect innocence, fortress of inner sense, mind over matter, head above heart shatter. This mask I peek behind and ask, are these pieces mine, or is it the world's pain? Hell if I know, but either way hurts just the same. Guilty as charged. Irony at large. Now that it's time to heal, it's now a fine to feel and express yourself despite it being really the only thing that's really fucking real. Oh, my friend, if you're stuck or numb, allow me to transmute, unlock the codes, shed some light, and show you how it's done. This next one is called Treadmill Scream. And there's not a TV in here, is there? Okay. Well, just pretend there's one over there and I'll point to it. All hail to the almighty screen. A king that scrubs your brain squeaky clean and tells you what's real so that you don't have to think, question, or feel. Just stream and continue to dream. If it were up to me, reporters would be deported, reciting lines of lies, puppets of a system that thrives on drama, propaganda, censorship, ratings, humans hating, fear, false flags, misinformation, subjugating half-truths and tall prophets. Basically, false prophets. Caught in a network of lies, anchors more a concept deep in the depths of your mind, playing you and stripping you of your directorial debut. Intellect shunned. Time for a re-election from this dark nightmare. And wake up to a life more bright and blissful. But it won't come, statistically speaking, from numbers displayed on pixels. Far too long we've been asleep. I'd rather die free than be a slave in the artificial story. So unfortunately, I'm shedding layers of history and stepping back into original mystery. So please forgive me for shaking you up while you curse me out and such. But I believe in you, bidding on the leader in you, dead set, an alphabet. A screen steers perception, blinding eyes, coercing choices, dictating decisions, erasing intuition, following a scripted narrative, going along, handing over power instead of creating our own joy in the world, killing ourselves, living a lie made by them, no surprise, open eyes, pursue the truth, question the rehearsed reality, start to understand veils, will, Xerox, and yield, Z, 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 Z. Don't mistake confidence for pompousness, because this is a war on consciousness, extinguishing your spirit and inner spark, rendering godlessness. So step off the treadmill and slip on some chainmail to escape this rat race circus, apt pace, reevaluating purpose. Running with pride, lines on the move. You won't catch me stuck glued to the tube. This just in, I'm breaking news. They won't stop me. I won't drop or cease all that this seer has seen. Solid as a rock from the ground, shatters through the scene. Piercing glass, kiss my ass. Farewell, I say, and all hell to the all-lying scream. I think it's the best reaction I've ever gotten from that one. Oh boy, this one is all about something called depersonalization disorder. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's a form of dissociation where you feel quite literally disconnected from your own body in a very visceral way. And that's what this one's about. It's called reflective exclamation mark. Reflective exclamation mark. I observe myself from afar. The friend that you recognize as a stranger in my mirror. Identity left somewhere in the dark. Just an intense, invisible spark, living with what's labeled depersonalization disorder, existing from a backwards fall into a shallow pool of deep personal realization. Hitting bottom even harder, scratching 9 lives. How can I feel dead and alive at the same time? Seriously. Check in. To what end? I hear I have no choice but to go straight ahead. Yet where does one go when one resides as a ghost in someone's head? What does it mean? Where am I? This body is here. The reflection is there. Life progressing forward, proven by strands of hair. It must be Sunday, or maybe Sun's day. I am deeply exhausted some days, trying to figure it out. Tired of seeking the perfect way. Speaking sounds will not do in an attempt to accurately say. Obsession with self-expression is simultaneously under repression. Essence has gone astray. Open up, let the right one in. But none of them are quite right to begin with, so all I'm left with is indecision in the end. Cock the aim under my chin. Premature evacuation is a criminal no-no. I can't exit leaving you on a low note with only this subliminal photo. This is a short one. It's called Let Down. Hopefully it doesn't let you guys down. I'm beginning to get frustrated over always being frustrated. It's hardly a rush, so just hush, baby. There's no reason to fuss. But hatred is building inside, and I do my best to shield it and hide, so there's not a push created. Offensive force escalated. I must trust or be taken over by my own anger from wanting a mother, so I just waited and searched for a connection that left me jaded, but was at least willing to settle for a holy father who lifted me up and elevated in hopes of leaving me full and upgraded, but instead what I got was let down and just David. This is going so much faster than, it's because when I'm up here, it spews out, you know? Yeah.
I wasn't worried about it.
How much time has elapsed? Seriously, I might have to add some to it. I'm almost done. I thought I was going to be overtime. Guess
You're
not.
fine. You're doing fine.
Okay. This is, hopefully you guys relate to this one. This one's called Lighthouse. Like lighthouse, but lighthouse. Sigh. Disinclined. Reluctant, but time to shine. Guess inevitable means it's time to blind. Go ahead. You can try to shut the blinds, block the light you have in mind, but that won't come close what comes from mine. Do no harm, but take no shit. Polished stones thrown from mask-wearing hypocrites. Word of caution treading in this space. Better check your own basket and get off my case before I shove a fucking mirror in your face. Yeah. Wow, I'm on the last one.
You can dance.
I can't dance. I can't dance, no. No. I'm not, who wrote that song? Phil Collins?
Oh.
Yeah. I can't dance. Yeah. So, this
It's okay,
one,
you can't sing either.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. Keep trying. But whoever that was, fuck you. No, just kidding. Just kidding. It's a comedy hour here. All right, so I guess I could take my time on this one. So this is one I have been working on for a very long time, and it's actually not finished. This is the shortened rough draft of the final copy. I haven't read it publicly or in front of anyone. I think I've only read it like maybe twice, not much. But I feel like right now is probably a good time to read this one with everything going on in the world, because it's less about my shadow and it's more about collective shadow and societal shadow. And this one is special to me for some reason. I don't know when I'll finish it, but at some point. All right, it's called Wake. Wake the fuck up. It's time to go to work. I don't mean the job you hate where you feel stuck shut, but rather the duty we have to ourselves and this planet. Because if you haven't noticed by now, society is a little screwy, and they planned it. Right from the start, congrats, you've just been born. Here's a name, number, and religion. Your purposes conform. There is to be no questioning nor tolerance of your soul's quest to sing. Now inject chemicals, then dissect genitals. Oh, forget original trauma, it's just a sting. Quit your bitching. Look up. Spiderwebs spun back and forth in our sky. Chemical trails among the clouds, hidden in plain sight. But open eyes see more lies and white haze over the horizon. So label me a nut or whatever you perceive. Who cares? It's just the air we breathe. No need to make me the enemy. Like, bro, those are contrails. You're such a conspiracist. Nah, I simply observe a clear and obvious difference. Look inside our contaminated water supply. Fluoride kills rats with ease, but hey, I hear it's good for cavities. They care about your teeth, our dear old loving elite. Just read the label, swallow some paste and see, then be sure to proceed to contact poison control immediately. Look through our artificially flavored, genetically modified foods, which the body sees as invaders, as it tries its best to process the formula, attempt to digest this novel of ingredients, while the processed mess does harm to you. But there's a pill for that. How convenient. Create the problem, sell the Band-Aid. They risk your health in order to get paid. Look at school. We systematically memorize a bunch of names, dates, numbers, and expect to know what's real. Well, you can expect cognitive dissonance when actual truth comes out of left field. Hell, in fact, it is dumb. A nation's infatuation with the accumulation of information while still lacking wisdom. Look down at your phone. It'll distract you along when you're feeling alone. So what's on the news? Free thinking is banned. Just be sure and tune in to your regularly scheduled program. Code Red. Start your day with a constant reminder of every possible dispute. But if peace of mind is gold at the finish line, then this shit does not compute. Upon further inspection, I find lost people lacking introspection, attempting to give me direction when I didn't ask, testing my patience and compassion, regurgitating stats from a mask, harboring criteria, worshiping science, but not any able to be seen or touched, just what was read online and labeled as such. The media tells us what to do, where to go, who to hate, what to fear, what to believe, and who to trust. The world is ending. Always be in a rush. But I can assure you, patience, hyper-skepticism, and conscious discernment is very much a must. For the love of us, screen these scenes seen on these screens that seize your mind's eye with an endless constant stream of fear-based narratives, inducing a dream that blurs truth from fiction right at the seam. This scheme works so well because most of us are still children walking around in adult bodies, taking orders from superiors, thinking they have our best interest at heart, or that trusting them is smart. But because it all boils down to a need to be right. Otherwise, you're exiled, banished, kicked out of the tribe, on your own, fight or flight. So watch your step. Following the crowd is a matter of life or death. Have you tried embodying the hobby of being somebody who's willing to be nobody in order to become anybody instead of just being a copy, waiting patient in a lobby for someone else to tell you who you are and what defines you while binding you to diagnoses and labels, blinding you with stories and fables that infiltrate your mind and are adopted as truth regardless of personal experience or what you really feel deep inside from youth? I see sick people trying to prescribe health. It's pretty bad, guys. Like it's pretty bad. Walmart comes to mind. I see sick people trying to prescribe health. I see shallow people bragging about wealth. I see humans serving abuse dressed as police. I see disgruntled preachers preaching about peace. Then claim that a savior will save us while they sit and wait as he checks his watch, while he sits and waits for us to be the change we want to see and walk the path instead. Sure, call out for help when needed, but by the end of this dark night, it's up to us to walk over to the switch and turn on the light. It's no question, don't second guess for a second that it's we who have the power to co-create peace on earth as it is within the heavens. Look, I'm not trying to play God, but I think he, ironically, it doesn't read properly, but I have to, I think he, ironically, may be attempting to play me sneakily via the small and temporary form of fake ID. This will allow me to reintroduce my priorities, which are first to be me, second to seek truth, third eye to see, and fourth to assist you. But all I really know is that I don't know. And those that claim to do so surely won't, though. Narrow and blind like a pilot with tunnel vision in a sky of perspectives with no window flying solo. It's time to stop obsessing over our concepts of right and wrong and instead start looking at what works and what doesn't for long. Because goal attainability is the metric which determines our success and sustainability in becoming future leaders of collective self-sufficiency. These lives matter, those lives matter. Between you and me, I think we can all agree what always matters is love, peace, and harmony between all conscious entities, balance, respect, whether overseas, foreign countries, or throughout cities, animals, plants, every species, and all of humanity living together harmoniously, free from the grips of tyranny. Exercise your right to vote for the illusion of choice. Open your eyes and see right through it. If it actually made a difference, then they wouldn't let us do it. Besides, do we actually believe all votes are made equal? Choosing shit over shit is still choosing evil. But hey, at least they gave you a sticker for being good little boys and girls and doing what you're told. I say stop the votes. Then they'll have a lump in their throats the day that no one shows up to the polls. Wide-eyed, slack-jawed, and dribbling a C. But then you see, it becomes our responsibility. The ball's in our court. And most won't know what to do because they've spent their entire lives mere spectators of a false sport. We will not stand for slavery. We will not stand for mind control. We will not stand for artificial food. We will not stand for propaganda. We will not stand for censorship. We will not stand for pollution. We will not stand for division. But if we don't stand for these things, we've got to get up off our asses and take charge of ourselves to override what the wicked do. Because we all want change. So who wants to change? Well, at least the crickets do. And know that I'm no shining example of a perfect being human. But I'm learning to walk my talk through this dense, dark fog. And while some may call me stupid, crazy, foolish, naive, think that I'm dumb, all of the above, or maybe even none, in my heart of hearts, I know that I am a student, a seeker, a seer, a teacher, a sage, a passionate warrior, and ultimately a leader. So I offer my hand and vow to take a stand in the assistance of awakening from our slumber. Because the truth is, we're far greater in numbers. It's only when we come together do we cure our starting lives of worldwide hunger. And though it's difficult to imagine sharing it all with everyone, you just may be correct in your assumption that I'm a dreamer, one who won't stop until he's done. Because just as John and Kurt said, I'm not the only one.
view it. I don't know. I would say that poem's done. I think you covered it.
Amen.
It's close. Yeah.
Everything's really fucking weird. And, I think you got it. So thank you. All right. So as we said, happy 4th anniversary, everybody. I bought a shirt for the occasion. It says Auithentic soul on it. I like retro vintage.
No.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you. So with that, I would like everybody to. Well, first of all, our board president is here. Some of you know this guy, Terry. Also. Thank you for representing the board with you and your wife here. I know you've been wanting to come for a while too. I see you excited there too.
I am.
So I would like those of you that are coming up that have been coming for a while, or maybe you've just started coming, maybe if you could, within reason, share what this show or what Timucua means to you. I would like to hear that as you're coming up and doing your piece for the open mic. So for those that are new, here's your square of area that we'd like you to kind of hang out in as you're performing. 5 minutes. Remember that we are streaming. That's the importance of staying in this area here. I'll call you up 3 at a time per usual, and you can line up and we'll go from there. And I will be making a couple of other announcements throughout the night about some other anniversary announcements. So let's start with Bradley, Sabrina, and Caitlin with a C.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings. Yes, my name is Bradley. I also go by Brad the Writer. It's my first time being here.
Hey.
This place is certainly beautiful,
Yeah.
and it means a lot to be able to have a place to express myself.
Yeah.
So this piece, I usually have a hard time expressing myself, usually when I'm either sad or mad. So my best friend / girlfriend gave me the bright idea to write a crash out poem. So this poem is called Ashes in My Own Lungs. So I recently stopped smoking. My spidey senses are coming back because I left Mary Jane alone. Or the issues I used to suppress to stay calm are poking, so you may hear some of them inside this poem. I think I'm at the crossroads, where the sign reads, relapse or travel further into virtue. Stop to get gas in victimhood, but first pass by Crash Out Avenue. Turns out, I've been redirecting so long that life's GPS is only repositioning. Turns out, I've been lighting and stopping fire so long, I forgot my own hands were kindling. The cat's out the bag now, though, but he's been cooped up so long that he walks like he's crippling. Temperatures rising within walls to protect myself from others while protecting them from myself, but there's no more coolant in this conditioning. I'm done playing nice, so now I'm daring to speak my truth. Like, I always envied the Giving Tree, because you know she never forgot about her roots. I've been too generous with my silence. I'll make the room echo like it built itself. These next words are so heavy on my heart that if I don't speak them, it might create welts. Fuck you. But let me pardon my French. Lay fuck you. Until the mirror you see me puts you deeply in a trance. Many people been eating from the plate I made and turning up their nose like the chef's homemade. They sat at my table with their hands half prayed, then left my name off the bill that was paid. They thought I was timid. Nah, I was just storing my venom in mason jars. I labeled it syrup just to wash them pour it on pancakes. It's a sticky situation when the love turns into tar. Full stop, because I gotta check myself. I gotta pay the toll for relationships while remembering the toll on myself. I smell something burning though. I thought it was the bridges I solely maintained there, where it was my own lungs folding in on itself, my own chest smoking like it forgot the recipe for air. I'm past polite, past trying to be kind or nice, Pass the sugar on the rim, pass the fake smile that's tight. I'm the knife you forgot under the napkin, cool still catching candlelight. Left quietly waiting at the table while your laughter runs its mouth right. I'm the applause that cuts mid-clap, the sudden silence that hangs like a guillotine. The crowd's eyes darting left and right saying, but why you gotta be so mean? I'm the bless your heart with a little too much seasoning. Sweet draw wrapped around a dagger, slow cooked sarcasm served steamingly. The kind of flavor that lingers in your teeth long after the plate's been cleared. The repercussion of your actions, the silence that you quietly fear. Fuck you. Because I don't really care about none of that shit. I'm the wrong person to invite to the pity party because I'll bring candles just to blow out them shits. No politics. Because I don't really care who you voted for because truly you resemble the politics. And I know Peter don't really like me because I was never prone to be nice to a... Let me stop. You see, I experienced child labor young, forced to understand everyone's pain before I can know my own. Kind of like a people pleaser, but many call that the role of a gem. They always called me wise beyond my years, but they never asked me truly what stole them. But you see, I'm not wise. I'm just exhausted in a language that sounds poetic to you. They usually say, I miss you. Nowadays, that kind of makes me cry because I miss me too. Thank you. I don't know how to bow correctly, sir.
This is my second time here, and I'm going to share a short poem. I'm not a poet. I feel like I have to preface this saying that. But I was listening to some music not too long ago, and I heard this song that was just playing on my Spotify radio. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the song called Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. So I had heard this song for years, and it was the first time I actually listened to the lyrics, and they inspired me to write this, so it's kind of like a response. So it's called Bag Lady. My shoulders ache, my body stiff with tension. Even when I put this thing down, I've been carrying it for so long. People look at me on the street like, where's this lady going with all this damn stuff? I didn't want to be known as the bag lady, so now I carry a small, neat, top-handle bag that doesn't fit much more than this phone. Very ladylike, very put together, as not to scare niggas away. Or a short chain crossbody to signal to other girls that I'm friendly and approachable. But they don't know, in my car, I always carry a big, sloppy, 5-year-old beat-up Telfar bag full of life's just in cases. What if my phone dies? What if she's just using me? What if my skin gets a little oily on the drive there? What if he's just looking for something physical? What if I need my laptop for something? What if she gossips behind my back? What if it drizzles and my hair frizzes up a little? What if they're trying to set me up? What if my eyes get a little dry throughout the day? What if he switches faces when I start to let my guard down? What if we have a change of plans and we decide to go to the beach or something? What if she uses this secret against me? What if I get my period? What if we randomly get accosted on the parking lot and I don't have my pepper spray? What if I have to jump someone's car? What if someone has a medical emergency? What if I get disappointed? So yes, I do need all this stuff. You never know. These things happen. So I can't just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Because if I do forget all of my stuff and get caught out there vulnerable and get hurt, someone will say she should have known better. She should have been prepared. And since you mentioned to share what this means, to us, although it's only my second time here, my first time, it was a very positive experience, so that's why I'm back again. So thank you.
honestly one of the first times when I came here, I was actually struggling. What should I read today? Because it is the 4th anniversary of Authentic Selves, and at the same time, Valentine's Day was yesterday. And it's all, and with everything that's going on, I'm just like, what would fit tonight best exactly? And Lauren did bring up to share what Authentic Selves means to all of us. And to me, as a person who's done this event for a shorter amount of time compared to everyone else, this place, this house, what it did to me as someone who moved to the Central Florida area last year actually, it made me feel that I was welcome and I was brought into literally someone's house, and I was immediately a part of the family. And
You're gonna make me cry too.
thank you. And I can't thank everyone enough for doing that exactly.
Yeah.
Like, as a person who has always struggled to find sense of community herself, this meant everything to me. So that is why, to start off, I decided I was gonna write or recite a poem that I wrote myself recently, sort of for Valentine's Day, and I know it's a day late, so I hope you don't mind. Oh, to love like I'm young again. How it seemed so simple then. I fell in love once a year, like I requested a vaccine for the flu. Each year, I was treated like royalty. Each year, the high crashed and burned. I must have been an addict. And how the hell did I cut myself off? Perhaps it was when I lost my virginity, or perhaps it was when my virginity was taken by a man I'd rather forget than to keep hating. Loving someone as a grown-up seems impossible now that I have me to rely on and tend to. The world around me has lost color now that I have removed my rose-tinted glasses. I always protect myself because the worst of men are allowed to play. I am so plagued with doubt, I nearly forgot what young love felt like and how that feeling was unadulterated bliss. Oh, to love like I'm young again, and hopefully it will get us through. And before I go, I know it's one poem per person usually, but today I was reading through Langston Hughes, God bless.
Yeah.
And there was one short poem that spoke to me today, and I felt like it was necessary considering what's going on here. And I wanted to share it because I believe that my community here feels the way that Langston Hughes felt back when this poem was first written.
Yeah.
There are words like freedom, sweet and wonderful to say. On my heartstrings, freedom sings all day, every day. There are words like liberty that almost make me cry. If you had known what I knew, you would know why. Refugee in America, Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kate has me tearing up here in my seat. Look, y'all, I'm almost 40. Like, everything makes me cry. Like, thank you.
I was watching an ad at the Quest Diagnostics getting my blood drawn, and it was like, and I get my heart checked so she doesn't have to worry. And I started crying.
Everything takes me down now, but thank you for that. everybody's carrying a lot. You know, I love it. Love having the first timer. That bag poem really spoke to me because I hate carrying a purse. I hate carrying a purse. I didn't want to carry a purse for the longest time, but goddamn it, you don't know when you're gonna need your tampons. That shit'll just sneak up on you after a while. Or anything else. It's very true. You're always carrying something, physically, mentally, whatever else. I'm getting a lot of that tonight, so appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let's see. So, our staff has been working on marketing Authentic Selves a little more, and one of the things that we have launched over this past weekend, if you didn't see in our press release, is a Authentic Selves based portion of our website. So if you go to the Timucua page and go to events, you will now see under the menu specifically Authentic Selves. And we will be gathering the testimonials, some photos, links to the YouTube videos, and also creating a YouTube specific, here are all the Authentic Selves videos on Timucua's page that you can go to. So an area that you can go to, subscribe to our email and newsletter if you haven't already, and also easy place to share with your friends and to sign up for the show. So, yay! Check it out, share with everybody. Next three, Peter, Nelson, and Rebecca.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey, I'm Peter Gordon. If you're looking for my poems online, you'll find them under Peter M. Gordon. I have to use my middle initial because otherwise my name is too common. I want to start by saying how excited I am to be here. This is the best place in Orlando to read.
Yeah.
It really is. Everybody's so supportive. The sound is amazing. Thank you, Benoit, for creating this place. And Lauren, thank you for creating Authentic Selves. I've really enjoyed reading here. And thank you, Terry and Roman, for coming, and everybody else who makes this place as great as it is. I also was having trouble figuring out what I wanted to read, and then I realized that Friday was the start of spring training for baseball here in Florida. So of course I'm doing a baseball themed poem. And also this poem that I'm about to read is going to be published in April in the latest edition of the Sand Hill Review, which is published by St. Leo. It's the St. Leo literary magazine. And for me, it is poem 199 that has been published on various websites and books. So I am really excited about that because that means the next one's going to be 200. This one is called Playing Out the String. September baseball is full of teams eliminated from pennant races, playing only for pride and personal goals. I loved going to those games. So easy to get a good seat in half-empty stadiums. See minor league call-ups dream of how good the team might become next year. No pressure to win. Perfecting process is the point. Those of us in the September of our lives know what that's like, playing out the string. It's time for the rookies to prove themselves while we enjoy our beer and hot dogs, our oatmeal and bananas. Yet the games still count. Results affect teams' won-loss records. Personal goals remain attainable. Do you remember how sweet it was to stand at the plate, swing, and hit the ball on the nose, watch it fly true and high over the fence, or bounce against the wall 375 feet away as you sprint around the bases, sliding into third? What would you give for one more day on the field? the chance to not fade away, make the world better. There's no glory sitting on the sidelines. But you know, you can take the glory with you when it's your time to go.
Hi, good evening. Before I start, I want to say my reason for being here is that this place creates community, strengthens community in a real visible sense. You know, when you walk out of here, you realize that you're really rooted to a community. And not only to a community outside, but also the strength that we get as poets, as writers, from sharing all this incredible work that is being done here and that's being presented here. So that's one aspect of it, the creating of community and strengthening of community. It's what this thing is all about. But also on a personal level, it's an incredibly powerful sense of gaining personal power as an individual, whether you write stories or whether you write poems or whether you're a musician. And this is what I see time after time, because I come here just about every month. And so it's a really powerful place to be and to have in our community. So I'm very, very grateful to Lauren and Benoit for providing this for us. I mean, I can't thank them enough. We are blessed indeed to have you guys be in this community and lifting up the community. So I hope you get an idea of how important this place is. And this particular authentic Selves is. The poems that I'm going to read tonight are poems. I usually just write poetry because at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, boom, I wake up and there's this stuff, you know, the muse is tapping my shoulder. You got to get up and write this shit. You know? So I get up, and I start writing. And so these two poems, actually one little one and two longer ones, started that way. This is a short poem as an introduction, then I'll read the two longer poems. A poet may be a maker. By the way, you know the word poet means to make, right? Or poetry means to make. Anyway, a poet may be a maker, but he's also a working man, using words as tools. Rhythm is his trade. Don't forget to put a poem in your pocket. That's all I want to say. Okay, so these are the two poems that I have for you. I've been involved in the abolition of nuclear weapons for many years. My father died of nuclear contamination after working in a nuclear test site in Alaska. I grew up in Alaska. The name of this poem is called Radio Silence. Radio Silence because, I don't know if you're aware of this, but all the treaties that we have about nuclear weapons in this world are no longer existing or extant or valid. So it's a free-for-all right now when it comes to nuclear weapons. It's called Radio Silence. The silence comes from Washington, moving out all over the range. The sound of silence keeps us wired to the frequency, keeping us locked in the nuclear race. The sound from Russia clears the wires over the fence. There's no limit to strategic forces. All the treaties have been wiped out from this earthly place. Salt 1, Salt 2, Start 1, Start 2, New Start, all these treaties in the past, forces of unreason have given up on abolition with naked creatures locked by the nuclear latch. You think you heard it on the radio, coming out over the Strand. The swamp media doesn't cover the news. It only covers its ass. Don't ask me if I'm dreaming or passing my last day smoking some ash. The world is much too taken by notions of entertainment and cash. Maybe on the last day it won't be a sunset in the back view mirror, but a whimper of pain fading on a digital screen. Or maybe it will be a radio station in the middle of nowhere silent, because it's hard to shake this immobilizing disease. We put ourselves on the wire every time we breathe. Take it or leave it, my friend. Radio silence becoming the frightening sound of our dreams. The next poem is called Revolutionize the Constitution. Revolutionize the Constitution. We lost our heads after the Civil War. Reconstruction was all right, but what followed was worse. Too many people were crushed under the weight of industrialization and intense economic growth. We began to lose sight of the Constitution as a moral force. We began to lose touch with our better selves and began to forget who we were. We lost touch with common decency. We began to lose our political dignity. We began to make nothing of what had brought us together after the War of Infamy. Some people might say, we abandoned religion or God, but we abandoned more than that. We abandoned the guardrails of reality that strengthen our people through much trouble and strife. Now the tear gas settles in the dead grass in these times of distress. Revolutionize the Constitution. Make it do what it was always meant to prevent. Bring us back from the brink of lawlessness and blind innocence. Thank you.
Time here at this specific event.
Yeah.
I've come here before for it was in December, it was an orchestra band that was playing like violin. It was really pretty. I was sitting up there, but that's when I first saw the flyer for this event, and I was really excited. So my friend Catherine Devlin, she comes to perform a lot here. She's an amazing artist, and she couldn't make it here tonight. So she was like, "Can you fill my spot?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'll come." Wednesday will be the 1-year anniversary of my grandmother's death. Last year, I lost her. Our family lost her to Alzheimer's. She was an incredible woman. She came to this country from Ecuador in the early 1970s, and she left our family such a beautiful legacy. And I write a lot of my poetry based on her, and she's inspired me up until forever. So this poem is for her. And read another one, but it's called She Too Was a Pearl. Abuela is a 4-8 iron stove in a kitchen too small for the weight of her history. She understands the language of flour-dusted palms, the poetry of twisting dough between calloused fingers, the way warmth rises not just from her oven, but from her chest. I wonder what it felt like when America tried to make her hands soft, when they wanted her to fold instead of fight, to press her history into something more digestible. Did she know that when her knuckles pressed masa into form, she was really pressing my mother into a woman and seasoning her tongue with an accent that would never quite wash out. They dusted white flour on her lips, rolled her vowels like dough, kneaded her into something new, but still she did not break. At 6, I do not know yet why her voice has edges, why her back bends but never bows. I have not yet touched the cutting board. I have not yet learned the weight of a rolling pin, but I watch and I listen to the women in my family who cry standing up, who hold their grief in their hands like dough and make it something we can eat. In her kitchen, I learned that love can put food on the table, but it cannot keep the table from being sold. And still, abuela needs, still she shapes, and still she remembers even when she forgets. And so I remember for her. I carry her hands in mine, brown skin, all poem, no cuts. This is also a dedication to her, and this was when she was going through the first stages, the final stages, and this one's called The Surge. There is a moment before the body forgets how to stay. They call it the surge, and science explains it like fireworks in the brain. I think it's more like a grace note, a kindness before everything goes dim. When my grandmother slipped into the skin of Alzheimer's like an old church dress, my mother said she came back for moments, and not anticipated, more like a memory you didn't know you still had. My aunt, who was in the room, she gasped, asking her to make the empanadas again, and Abuela smiled like the stove was on, like flour dust still lived under her fingernails. And I can still smell her empanadas, which is a love language, with her and white flour. The nurses did not know what to do with a woman who remembered, and neither did my mother. And I think maybe that's how death works. Walks in soft, lets you dance with what kept you alive before it takes you. Mm-hmm. Maybe heaven is just your hands in masa one last time, or a soup you forgot to stir but still smells just right. Mm-hmm. A final waltz, not into darkness, but into the warmth of your own release.
Thank you, everyone. I see one of our other board members snuck in. Karen, thank you for supporting. And over the years, we've gotten a number of volunteers that tend to get really dedicated to Authentic Selves while they're here. So Patricia, who is also now our volunteer coordinator, congratulations. And Ward is around. Ward's up there. Thank you all for continually supporting and occasionally helping me kick somebody out when they get
that happened.
Yeah, it did.
That's nice.
So as I was listening to this last set of poems, I was thinking that it's always been a thing for me to learn about other culture. I'm a person who will always ask you where you're from if I hear even the slightest thing in your accent. I want to know what state you're from or what country you're from or whatnot. And a lot of our differences are being disparaged right now, and I think it's a time to bring all that to the forefront. And then you all know me. I like to bring everybody to the forefront all the time because it's always important to learn about everybody, right? So it's February. I know. It's Black History Month. Yeah. Whatever. Yes, it's exciting, but isn't it our history all the time, right? That's what I always say. It's us all the time. So yes, it's February, and our feature was white because that is the order in which he came to me. I don't do that. I don't do that on purpose because I want to make sure that we are all celebrated all the time and that we are all speaking our differences all the time. My family's from the islands. So, I love hearing about, folks from other countries and other cultures. So when you were like, oh, she's a black woman. That doesn't tell you a whole lot about me, unfortunately. Like, there's a whole lot more than growing up in a Caribbean family that I don't know how to explain. Some folks will just not get, right? So I encourage that. Take the time to learn about somebody that's not you. And this is always a great opportunity for us to do that. So, let's try and keep it to one poem, folks. Our next one, Claver, Cedric, I saw you. I think I got everybody that checked in. If you did not check in, please make sure and see me. Claver, Cedric, and Jenna, please.
Croon sink. Surely sufficient piss to submerge limb if the ship rocks. Plenty enough shit to smudge any part of me. Blood from the brutal bracelet of our sudden owner manifests boner, never before writhed beside so much proximate armpit. Sun was beaming on sweet amaranth. Yams were engorged. Now it's my semen snowily bellowing my fellows in chains. Peripheral corner of rank quarter shows yellow broth, deep as a gourd. And when the clouds come, we are awash. Faraji broke the brocade, not ferrous enough for his girth, and his body dances amply over us captives. The thunder comforts as drummed by the solstice flame. Heron blue sky of our arrival is a paradise, and the cotton whip welts crimson comparative joy. Oh, yes, thank you, yes. Well, yes, like Nelson, in the middle of the night, 3, 4 a.m., behind the wheel of my car. I also welcome the arrival of the muse. I'm a victim of fraud, and I do not know whether my entire body of poetry is still in existence or if it's been taken to the dump, because I've been too terrified to call the storage units. I'm just too terrified. If I find out that my poetry since 8th grade is gone, I just don't know how I will possibly even be able to handle it. So when the muse at 3 a.m. behind my steering wheel arrives, I think of Tim McQuall.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
I feel like I'm a good writer. About Authentic Selves, it gives me a platform to come up here and do my thing, and I really appreciate you for that. I've never done a lot of public speaking, so it's when I come up here, it's therapeutic, and I feel like I'm conquering something. One of my biggest fears. I'm not scared of much, but I don't like public speaking. I'm not familiar with it. I got 2 poems really quick if I can do them.
Go ahead.
All right.
Anniversary show.
The first poem, okay. The first poem I got from an episode of Martin. First, let me say I love love. Love is a bad bitch. Deleterious or wondrous, it can rock you. My bad, how y'all doing? I'm Sid, and I'm the love doctor. Love can be forever or adjourn real quick. The union, I mean, but the feeling never dies, just with time you get over it. 25 years of experience made me an expert. Still I realize I don't know shit. You can meet love and instantly know it's the one. It's official. Good or bad, that same love blows you away. Impels your heart like a ballistic missile. The best love is not judgmental. It's agape. It has no conditions. I can be free around you, saying do whatever. Love is best when it has no restrictions. Because you trust me to do right 99% of the time. And when I do fall short, I acknowledge the fault is mine. Here we possess a love that's undeniable, unbreakable. This love right here is blind. Love feels real good, and guess what? It's not free of strife. You seek someone just like you, your soulmate, your wife. Passionate dialogue fueled by love and anger, but you don't argue. Fixing your mind to dial a number was the best decision of your life. So you tell them, come on over to my place. I'm gonna give a tremendous love that's consistent. And I won't stop till your toes curl, eyes roll, and you shake. I promise to always be persistent. But on the other hand, sometimes you can think maybe love just ain't for me. After multiple false alarms, you refuse to sleep. Fake love is just passing through, providing great feeling for a time, but then they leave. Or maybe you were the one fucking around, saying what they wanted to hear, making a good sound. After getting what you wanted, you left their ass on the ground. And that's fucked up too. Don't play with hearts, mother tried to warn you. Purposely breaking hearts comes back around. They call that shit karma. Sometimes, no every time. Love is hard to understand, though we give it, even when we give it all we can. Why are you so bad at love? It's not true, they were only passing through, devastating you and leaving a damaged man or a woman. Perfection is hard to catch. Punch a heart stitched up and covered with a patch. But hurt people, but you hope they find that match. Damn. Now you wish you had a love time machine so you can cherish and squeeze it. You know what I mean? A love on sight, first sight, forever sight, with all your might, like you had when you was a teen. People tend not to want easy love. Innately, we want to fight, we want to be chasing. But after making impulsive moves fueled by anger, we realize real love is kind, respectful, understanding, and patient. A beautiful love is honest between two. It must have trust in order for it to be true. Not 50-50, but 100 and 100. Reciprocation is the glue. But that'll be $500. Y'all can pay and get out the door. I'll see you next month. Today in communicating trust, it's a must. Good luck and continue to pray to the Heavenly Father. Because love is a beautiful, unpredictable wonder. It's been my pleasure to help. I'm Sid, and I'm the love doctor. That's it. I'm doing this real quick. That wasn't so good. This poem is called I Want You to See It. I want you to see their tears. So many events, so many peers, so many dark days, so many wonderful years. Just thought it always worked out. So listen, man, I want you to see their tears and respect them. See this thing, know where it came from, sunshine and rain. Opulent moments of shit that hurt like a bitch. Uphill battle through joy and pain. Through their eyes, see their hustle, the persistence of every muscle. Times they were weary and wanted to quit, but they endured and won. I want you to see their struggle, how they refused to go gentle into that good night and came through every time. See their hard work when the lights were off, when no one was watching. I want you to see their grind. When they cried, see their frowns and grin. When emotional, see their foes and friends. See every antagonist that came their way. See them overcome oppression, then respect their win. As the water flows down his face, see his hectic journey. sent from the Heavenly Father above. See how much He adored you. My brother, my sister, I want you to see their love. In His eyes, see His son and mom. No matter what, they'll never be apart. See a righteous indignation. I want you to examine her heart. See the mistake that knocked off her course. See His repentance and His remorse for every sin. See their grind to execute my plan, striving to do what's right. See their discipline. I want you to see their different gears. I want you to view their deepest fears, examine them and understand their greatness. I want you to see and feel their tears. I thank America for making February a time where everyone can focus and see. I thank God for the superhumans I can call my ancestors. For that reason, every day is Black history to me.
Yeah.
See their tears.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's bright here. Wow. First of all, thank you all. We're getting late into the night, and so I'm getting tired. I don't know about you. But I'm just really grateful you all are here. And Timakua means a lot to me. I used to do some readings at Austin's. And Austin's just recently reopened, I learned. But this is such a wonderful place to get to read and to feel, I guess, at home. And every time I come here, just because I'm me, I'm always terrified of reading, just because that's who I am. But then I see everyone else go, and I feel like, oh, this is a place where people, like, love and respect are so important, and I just feel really happy because this place embraces those qualities and embraces experimentation and being open. And yeah, I am a little nervous. I wasn't earlier, but for some reason I've become nervous. So I apologize for suddenly stalling. And in case you're wondering, I actually do dress like this. This is just part of my wardrobe. It is kind of related to the poem I'm reading, but I also just look like this. I had someone ask me the other day, and they were like, "Wow, is this a costume?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's costume is me." Thank you. This poem is called "The Monster's Lament." Sorry, dear doctor, if you spied me staring. I was just admiring that fine gender suit you're wearing. Would you mind if I slipped inside? I'd return it back, I swear. It's just this body you gave me seems in need of repair. And perhaps I've been admiring a bit too strongly. Been staring at that space between your legs a bit too fondly. But it's not that I mind your penis, Dr. Frankenstein. It's the opposite, I guarantee. It's just that I think it would look so much better on me. Like a transvestite Mr. Potato Head or a Barbie boy girl. I major model in gender desertion, so why don't I fly your flag for a whirl? Meanwhile, as gender's darling, the very captain of your soul, you can go on marching out your gender hymn national. But I must warn you, dearest Victor, mea maxima culpa confiteor.
No.
That I'm afraid that, to that anthem, I never learned the score. See, I know you find me monstrous, homunculi too strange to bear. But the more fearsome scorn you ponder, the more you're pulling hair. And careful now! Don't peer too closely, Victor darling. You might not like what you find. For that ghoulish face in the mirror, well, just might be mine. Does anyone else want this? Oh, you do want it? I will keep it here.
Save you a trip.
Thank you, everyone.
Poetry assembly line. Hello, I'm Alexander. This is my third time reading. And I'll keep it brief, but what this place means to me is I'm a recovering actor. And I've been all over the country. I've lived in Boston, New York, LA, and ended up in Central Florida. And so all these different destination cities, when I was younger, I thought as an artist that I'd have to go to these places in order to create. And what I've been finding, particularly here in Central Florida, and where I kind of pause and stop and actually just grow my roots, is that you don't have to go to a destination to find the community. You don't have to go somewhere else to express yourself and to live your truth. And this place was just destined to become something that is very important to me, because I live a couple miles down the street. I've been running past it. I run a 5K a day. I had no idea it existed, but I've been looking for a place to express myself, and it was just literally right here the whole time. I just needed to stop and look around. So thank you for this beautiful place. This is very rough, first pass, called Permanent Impermanence. Why must I deal with the paradox of permanent impermanence? The constant, inconstant nature of this existence that I did not choose. A gift from my parents who decided, for their own reasons, to make me an unwilling participant in this divine comedy. We are all thrust on the stage called life, wailing and smeared with blood, but we must then stand ourselves up, face an often hostile audience, and perform. Knock, knock, who's there? The knocker is asking. Paradox. Comedy indeed. Children would not be conceived if parents fully grasped the non-consensual nature of the act of conception. I did not choose to exist, but I must choose to remain in existence? What a gift. And how? The how is easy if taught how to live, and parents are inclined to teach the how. It is where the accepted responsibility of parenting starts. The basic needs of the body for survival, the basic rules agreed on by society, the basic systems of metaphors and symbols that claim their truths are truer than the truths of others. But hollow, hallowed truths were not enough to sustain me. I had to learn more than just the how of living. I followed the paths of the self-proclaimed lovers of wisdom, and I took comfort in the certainty of explanations. I looked under the hood to catch a glimpse of the machinery, the mechanism, right down to the gears, and I found all things do happen for a reason. It is called cause and effect. But the clever only find a brief respite in being idiots for the idiomatic. To reduce all into an all-powerful how. Explanations are not worth living for. It's not enough to simply understand. It's not enough to answer with because. So why? Is the hardest question to ask, although it is a single syllable. If I did not choose to live, but I choose to remain here, knowing I will inevitably die, what can I rely on when the limits of explanation are reached and surpassed? What is my why? In the free fall after the strings of hows snap, in the yin-yang of the anxiety of both life and death, I ching. You ching. We all ching for meaning. Why? Throw a W in front of an I and you create the om of the individual. Why? The persistent chiming of life's bell, rung with the white-knuckled, anxious insistence of each heart beating at its own rhythm with an unknown number of beats. Why? If I listen to my body, beyond its needs to its wants, pleasure is the feather on the scale to weigh my pumping heart, if not much protection from crocodiles. But lust is only taking, an appetite of desire beyond nature's aggressive instinct for survival. A burning in the loins, if left to its devices, will burn itself out, consuming all in its wake. And I've heard there's a cream for that. If not lust, then love. It is the greatest power on earth, the purpose of living for something greater than oneself reduced to a single individual. A religion with one celebrant and one idol, burnt offerings left on the altar of a personal God. Acts of destruction as all other possibilities are sacrificed to it, for love chooses its endings. To live with one is to die with one. After the failed anachronisms of old religions, the private parish of partnership provides the mist-closed circuits to power two lives, each shocking the other to continue forward for as long as they can. The quickening reanimation of flesh and spirit until both burn out. the embrace of accountability for the perfect, imperfect creation of one's choices, a refusal of a Chilean anti-hero, Mary, not Percy. But there's this underlying anxiety again, driving the pursuit of why? Death. Is love then merely the foundation of family, to have children? A biological imperative to pass on? True biological immortality is immorality, for it requires a refusal of nature. You are not your children. They are not the immortal you. In a few generations, you may no longer be remembered. The conventional moral immortal is legacy. Be your medium stone, impressions of your soul in sculpture and designs in architecture, which still crumble over time. Or the medium of art, paint, words that poorly capture essence and fleeting experience, reductive translations of the senses into crude imitation to be read by the senses. But there is no guarantee that your paintings will be seen or your words will be read after your death. Perhaps the medium of social policy, building better political systems for a hopeful future. Or yes, the medium of flesh, the continuation of life in fragile infancy to be protected and nurtured, to protect you when, in old age, you return to infantile fragility. The symmetry of two wombs, one of flesh and one of earth. Parents prepare their children to exist after they're gone, but they tend to forget to help them reconcile the mortality passed on without consent. Regardless of media, these moral enterprises do not achieve immortality. For legacy comes after one's existence, and I refuse to live for something after myself. I'm no longer enamored by the worship of the cult of dead artists or duty-bound to the building of a genetic dynasty that provides no consolation in oblivion. To toil for a future without also living one's own life is not a complete life. I must change my perspective to achieve an experiential immortality, to achieve my why. The act of sculpting in stone and designing structures that are built here and now, to put words on paper to express, explore, wrestle, and ultimately perform my ideas. The actions to promote social change for the world I want to live in now while protecting the freedoms of others. When they come for one, they come for all. To bring together sexuality and love so that the acts of giving and taking become one celebration of the other and of myself, of us. To teach out of the pleasure of doing so as an act of love. To experience every tiny moment knowing that each has meaning. The past is fading memory and the future is unproven hypothesis. So why becomes now. The primal rhythm from question transcends to proclamation. Immortality is the eternal present. It is all we have. It is all I have. This existence is my only heaven, my waking eternity, indivisible energy. In this moment, I am the permanent impermanence. Now. Thank you.
Recovering actor and maybe recovering Catholic too.
Yes, that's it.
My name is Caitlin Boback. I have been coming to Timucua for maybe 2 years now. Inconsistently, but I'm here. I loved what Caitlin C. said about this venue being an actual home. And I think that's so symbolic about how it feels to a lot of us, like kind of being our own home, second home. I grew up with a lot of screaming and fighting, and often I was told at the end of it that I should just make sure not to tell anybody. And I remember after reading at Timucua, I wrote this little poem. I wrote, "A throat freed, a voice unleashed, all the family secrets you made me promise to keep quiet, I now recite loudly to strangers you'll never meet. And thank you. So it's a very special place to me. The poem I'm going to read tonight, speaking of cultures, is called The Power of Persia. And it's dedicated to my boyfriend. Happy Valentine's Day. It's not really romantic, actually. But these days, I often find myself wondering what a poem is worth. Asking where's the value in flowing words if they're only drowned out by skin-piercing ammunition. For really, what's the point in eloquence when the whole world is screaming? But before I put the pen down and walk away for good, I remember the story of Persia and how it persisted. Have you heard it? Have you ever stopped to wonder how in a sea of Arabic the language of Farsi remained? Have you ever asked yourself that despite 1400 years of Islamic dominion, while Egypt, Syria, and Palestine fell to cultural washing, how Iran is a country that still speaks the language of its emperors? Well, they say it was the poets. Not prayer or prophet, but Hafez and Rumi in the longest poem ever written that saw Persia through its darkest winter solstice. While Islam wove its way into every fiber, shrouded every strand of flowing black hair, silenced every tar string, rolled out the mat and buckled a people's knees, poetry remained as pitted as the pomegranate seed. Fill up your lungs, breathe out red and pink. That when the Quran was put down, it was Ferdowsi's epic taken from the shelf each night, holding all their history, their myths, and their kings, that its fairy tales and flowing words were too pure for translation. So when I feel my most frivolous, I remember Persia and how poetry saved a language, a culture, and its people.
Means to me. So I don't know how to say it in the abstract sense, so I'll give you an example. In the last, however many years that it is that I've been coming here, there have been good days, there have been bad days, there have been mediocre days, there have been all kinds of days in between, but it doesn't really matter what kind of day it is that I'm having, or week, or month, or whatever, leading up to the day that Timucua comes. Whenever Timucua does happen, I know if I go there, that anything that was bad before will probably be washed away. And I'll be able to metaphorically kind of turn the page on whatever's going on and move into the future lighter in a better way. Or if things are going good, then it just makes it even better. So, I'm a little disappointed in you all today because I think maybe because Kay's not here, but there's a distinct lack of smut. With Valentine's Day having been yesterday, so I'd like to fix that.
Yes.
Yeah. Just for you, Lord. If you've heard this, keep it to yourself until the end. Okay. She lies full turkey before me, thighs bent upward in anticipation for the probing of his pronged hand, forking index and pinky pinching vulva and taint together, while conjoined middle and ring fingers slip inside. Exhaled tremble exits her body and causes a chain reaction at every follicle, along his arm, up his neck, on his head, until every hair stands on end, every gland secretes salted drip, and fitting reins become basting bristles. Churning elbow elicits the emulsion of sweat and vaginal fluids into crumpled palm, brings his lips down to meet the waiting sample at the basin of his hand and his lips. Taste buds lap up flattened flavor compared to the fully seasoned cream stuffed within. Salivating tongue tip enters tacitly, craving the feast already promised to the other senses. His mechanical motions give way to the frenzy of inserted tongue and fingers desperately scouring her insides in search of the purest sour contained within the bounds of her elasticity. His mouth pulls out unsatiated, so that the remaining submerged knuckle joints can knead against stranded thumb, attempt to ignite the rockets of his four fingers toward knocking upon the squirming smooth musculature of her cervix's secret inner gate, until grasping at straws gives birth to frustration and pruny fingertips are withdrawn and replaced with the proper utensil, and I allow him and her to stew as another part of the palate in the meal of my invention and creation. Because I'm more than an idle voyeur content to watch others enjoy the fruits of my labor. I am the puppet master pulling the strings. I am the rat in the hat. The one whose yanking whips have made our shared desires manifest into passion. Her nails dig first into his ass, then his back, then his hair, then his took, and her body curls beneath him as she pulls it away to reveal the reflection of me in his eye, in her eye, coming face to face to face, and barely gasping, "Yes, chef."
Happy anniversary to me!